Yo guys, it's Mighty, and in this video I want to talk about my new favorite mousepad. I know I haven't said that for a while, basically since I got my Skypad 3.0 more than a year ago, but now with this glass pad, I would consider it my new favorite mousepad. If you guys are enjoying these reviews and you haven't subscribed yet, exactly 95.6% of you guys aren't subscribed, so if you could subscribe, it'd mean the world to me. On to the rest of the review. This is of course the Wallhack SP-004. Wallhack used to be known as Skypad, but they rebranded with the release of their Skypad 4.0 or Wallhack SP-004. The four major differences between this pad and the Skypad 3.0 is the dimensions, the base, the surface feel, and the speed. To start off, the dimensions now are 490 by 430. This mousepad is a little bit longer than your traditional XL mousepad, but it does feel very similar between this and a 490 by 420 pad. Another big thing is the fully silicone base. This glass pad now does come with a full coated base, unlike the four corner designs of the 3.0. It also has Wallhack on the sides, which you can't really see, right here and right here. And it makes the Wallhack very, very stable without it being able to squish in the middle like my 3.0 was able to. And also doesn't move at all on my desk when I'm wiping it down or using it in game. So this base is a whole lot nicer than the one on the 3.0. Next, the surface feel. The grit, which means how large the individual glass pieces are for this mousepad, are much smaller than the ones on the 3.0, which makes the mousepad feel a lot smoother. This mousepad is far smoother than the 3.0 is. You can definitely feel it when you run your hand over it or when you use generic skates. The next thing I want to talk about, which I do find very controversial among the reviewers and the players that have tried this pad, is the speed. For me, as soon as I got this pad, I swapped to brand new Obsidian donuts just to make sure I didn't have any incorrect measurements for my previously broken in mouse skates. When I did try this pad on both the Obsidian donuts, as well as J donuts, J dots, Obsidian dots, Obsidian pros, and core pads, all of these mice reacted basically the same way between the 4.0 and the 3.0. I will say 4.0 and SP-004 in this video, but just know I am talking about this mousepad. When I was using all of these different skates between this mousepad and the 3.0, I could feel an obvious speed difference. I did test it with the mousepad brand new. Basically as soon as I got the pad, I tested the speed just because I wanted to see if what people are talking about was true. Because I know a lot of different reviewers and people who use this pad had very different experiences with the speed. But what I can confidently say is this pad is indeed faster than the 3.0. On every single skate that I tried, this pad was much faster. I know many people were curious about how the new Obsidian Pro skates would handle on this pad, since it is considered that the Obsidian Pros are meant for this mousepad. And I can still say, if you do want a controlled experience on a glass pad, these skates are the way to go. They're still super slow, the slowest out of all the skates I've tried. And if you want a speedy experience and just an overall nice experience to use on a glass pad, I still just would not recommend the Obsidian Pros. Now going from the fastest to the slowest skates I've tried, the fastest skates on the Skypad right now are the normal Obsidian dots. These mouse skates provide very, very little friction and make this mousepad feel extremely buttery and smooth. The next skate to use are the Obsidian donuts. These are the skates I've been personally using on the Skypad and the skates that I use on basically every glass pad. They are not quite as fast as the Obsidian dots, but they are still pretty fast nonetheless. The next skate to use on the Skypad for speed are the Jade donuts. Keep in mind that the Obsidians are meant for glass. The Jades, they do have a coating on them, so once the coating wears down, they're not as fast. So keep that in mind when you use Jades on a glass surface. The Jade donuts are the third fastest skate to use on this pad. And surprisingly, after the Jade donuts, the fourth fastest skates are the core pads. These core pads still handled pretty well on the Skypad, even though they aren't as fast as I would like. And finally, the second slowest mouse skate to use on the Skypad that I've tried are the Jade dots. These Jade dots just don't provide as much speed as the other skates. And when it comes to normal PTFE skates to use on the Skypad, I just wouldn't recommend the Jade dots. Now, will you notice it in game? It depends. If you are very used to glass pads and you've owned quite a few in the past, then you will probably feel a difference. If you're coming from a cloth pad or a regular glass pad, you probably won't notice the very big difference between this pad and the 3.0. If you are in that group and you just want to try a new glass pad, the 3.0s are actually on sale on Amazon. I'll have an affiliate link down in the description if you do want to check out the 3.0. But now when it comes to the price of this, the Wallhack SP-004 is the same price as the 3.0 was previously. It was $119 on their website. You can't currently get this on Amazon from what I know, but you might be able to find retailers in different countries. Another big thing about this pad is how the edge feels. I do feel like this edge is a little bit less rounded than the 3.0 was, being a little bit sharper to use. And since this pad is also barely a millimeter taller than the other one is, I can see some people having a problem with the edge if they use their mousepad up. If they use their mousepad up high like I do, they might feel the uncomfortable grinding. But the way I use the mousepad, I have most of my forearm on the pad itself, and I have it so that my arm doesn't really touch the edge of the pad over here, so I personally am not affected. Also, when it comes to the way this pad feels on the skin itself, it is far less sticky when my hand is sweaty. It is pretty sweaty right now, as you can see the shine of the camera, but it doesn't really stick to the pad that much. If you do sweat as much as I do think this pad is still pretty unusable without a sleeve, but it's not as unusable as the 3.0 was. Another big thing, if you could see, is that this pad does leave a lot more sweat residue than the 3.0 does. I do find if I leave my palm when I'm using a mouse flat on and I pick up my palm, I do see a little bit of residue left over on the pad. You mainly just have to wipe it down with the included microfiber cloth that comes in the box. I will talk about the actual contents in the box itself towards the end of the video. This microfiber cloth that they include I think is very, very good, and it's really nice to have. I use it both for cleaning my pad when it's dry as well as wet, and this microfiber cloth does remove a lot of the dust and dirt that builds up on the pad either overnight or by the time you use it the next day. And after you're done wiping it down, you can just use your hand to gently rub over the pad to clear off whatever dust and dirt is remaining. And now when it comes to the box itself, it comes in a box like this. The box is far higher quality than the 3.0 was, and this box is actually meant for transporting the pad when you are going to LAN events or just moving it around. When you actually do open up this box, inside you'll find a card that actually thanks you for buying the mousepad, as well as a QR code to all their socials, as well as this pouch that holds the microfiber cloth itself. Now when it comes to using a sleeve on the SP-004, I do think that the sleeves are much smoother on this pad and they don't catch at all. And especially considering Skypad sleeves, since they're meant for this mousepad, they're very, very frictionless and it's very easy to glide my hand across the pad. It doesn't stick at all. One thing that I did begin to notice when I started testing this mousepad a little bit more and started to have my arm heat up when I was aim training is that if you leave your arm in a position for a period of time and don't really move it, I do feel that the center of the mousepad does get a little bit warmer, which causes the mouse sleeve to stick a little bit more on the sides where the mousepad is colder and start to speed up a little bit more in the middle, which causes a dragging feeling as you move between the slower and warmer parts of the mousepad. That is just one thing to be careful of when you do start to use this mousepad and start to game on it. Now when it comes to sleeve designs themselves from Wallhack, there are two main sleeve designs. You have the column and the repeat. I do enjoy the repeat more than I do the column, since they are, from what I feel, a two different type of material. The column is a little bit more firm than the repeat is. I overall like the material of the repeat since it is very, very similar to the OG Skypad sleeve, which I did main until I got this sleeve. And the column sleeve I would consider to be very, very similar to the Sora V1 sleeve or the Sora V2 sleeve, which they did sell for a good amount of time. So if you do have 3 of these type of older sleeves and you do like one of them, I would say you can pick whichever material you do enjoy more. That's all for my thoughts and opinions on the Wallhack SP-004. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until the next time, peace.